And is the commitment due? Well, a commitment is what a real estate purchaser has to obtain, and there's a deadline prescribed in the contract of sale. What is a commitment anyway? Well, when a person, a buyer, is purchasing a property, they have to come to the closing with all of the funds, right? So you put a deposit down on contract, and you have to bring the balance at closing. So if you're buying $1 million property, you might put down 10% on contract, $100,000, then have a portion of money available in your bank account, and your third your third sum of money you have to bring is the balance of the proceeds. Typically, that's obtained from a bank. If you had $1 million in your bank account, you could certainly use it. You could buy it. It's better than buying a bridge, but the commitment is a written statement from the bank committing to give you money. So the prospective buyer, I guess it's the actual buyer, but it's the prospective borrower from this bank has to submit 12 months, bank statements, the amount of money presently in their account, pay stubs, a year or 2 years of tax returns, right? They have to work on the relationship that they have with their own bank. So that buyer and prospective borrower has to deal with their bank. And then when the bank is satisfied, they'll look at the home, obtain an appraisal, check the finances of the person. They will then issue mortgage commitment. So when is it due? The contract will usually provide, the typical time frame is 45 days from the date of contract. So whenever you affix the fully executed contract, and there may even be a certain way to date the contract, but the fixed contract date from that point, 45 days on or about, or just 45 days on or before 45 days, that's when the commitment is due. Now, if the person doesn't get the commitment, the buyer's attorney should be in communication with the seller's attorney. It could happen even the other way, right? I'm in the middle of a transaction now. The commitment deadline, the date was this week. So we reached out to the attorney for the buyer and said, hey, the date for the obtention of the commitment is due in the next few days. Does your client have a commitment? Or the buyer's attorney can call up and say, we have not yet obtained a commitment. Can you give us an extension? And by case law and convention, that extension is granted. So the when is as negotiated or discussed in the contract. If you have any more questions, reach out, frankbrunolaw.com.